Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. I'm glad you guys are back for another video. We have two games to preview. It's our Week 11 Friday preview. So, let's just get right into it, I guess. We got two games. Let's go get it. Alright, so both these games kick off at the same time, so I'm just picking one to start us off with. We have a 7:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff. As always, Indoor Football League Network. We have probably the game of the week here to start us off, so let's start it off with the game of the week. 6-2 Quad City Steamwheelers taking on the 6-2 Tulsa Oilers. Someone's going to get win number 7, and someone's going to drop to 6-3. The East is really starting to shape up a little bit. Now, I said in a previous video, we kind of know who the four teams are going to be. Well, Friday, maybe change that a smidge, but I'm not going to spoil anything. Hint, hint. But with that, this is a huge game in terms of probably the number one seed going into next week. So with that, let's take a look at our season leaders. Daquan Neal, TJ Edwards leading in rushing and passing for both teams. So Daquan Neal for Quad City, 50 of 108, 692 yards, 21 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. TJ Edwards leading in passing as well, 101 out of 160, 949 yards, 30 touchdowns to 3 picks. Rushing for Daquan Neal, 52 carries, 262 yards, 8 touchdowns. TJ Edwards, 115 carries, 445 yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. He is on fire. There's a reason why he's been Offensive Player of the Week 4 times so far this season, regardless. Jordan Vesey, your leading receiver, 13 catches, 257 yards, and 10 touchdowns. And your leading receiver for Tulsa, Cole Blackman, 17 for 172 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's your leading receiver because, let's talk about our injury report here. Gino Appleberry has refused to report for Quad City, so he is off the list. Other than that, no changes to the injury report. And for Tulsa, very bottom name, Sheldon Augustine has been put on the short-term injured reserve list. That is a huge blow to that wide receiving core. Now, they do have quite a bit. We'll talk about that 25-man roster here in a second, but that is a huge blow to that offense. Taking a look at the game odds over here, we do not have a spread. There is no spread. There's also no pick'em. It's pretty much on the straight money line, and that money line is minus 110 either way. That's how even both of these teams are. We have an over-under of 82.5. We are in the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Again, 7:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff, and Tulsa has a 3-2 series lead. Their last meeting, Week 9, Tulsa winning in Quad City, 36-34. That was quite a game. That was the Halloween game for Quad City, and we didn't catch the final minute where Quad City didn't get the 2-point conversion after trying to tie the game up. Both teams played pretty well. The defenses kind of showed out. So yeah, just a couple weeks ago, these two teams met. Now they're meeting in Tulsa. So with that, let's go take a look at our 25-man roster, bet and prediction. We will move on. All right, so 25-man rosters popping up over my face, starting with the away side as we always do. For Quad City, there are a couple of changes. For the quarterback position, there is a new quarterback. We don't know if he's going to start, if he's going to suit up, or even play. Daquan Neal, Demery Croft, your usual suspects. Seth Morgan from New Hampshire. He has been added to that quarterback room, so it makes you kind of wonder, why are you signing a quarterback if you don't feel that Daquan Neal is ready to go? So this could be another week of Demery Croft getting the start. Seth Morgan could be the backup, but they're not ready to put Daquan Neal on injured reserve or something like that. We don't know. Now, Daquan Neal could start. It's kind of up in the air. Demery Croft could be hurt. This could be something where they're kind of showing out to be who is the second best quarterback behind Neal. We don't know. So that's where we're at. Your running back is Jared Ware, and your wide receivers, Daquan Dudley, Dion McShane, Kevon Rudd, Jordan Vesey, and Tamarian Terry coming over from the Vegas Nighthawks. Daquan Dudley did as well. So with that, 2 former Vegas Nighthawks bolstering that wide receiving core. That is a very good addition to that offense if they can get the passing game really, really going. Your offensive line, Joe Crowell, Ivory Scott, Tyrone Chambers. It's pretty much been your offensive line this entire season, so kudos to that. Defensive line, Kadir Shepard, David Cagle, Keyshawn Moore, Chimadunga. Linebackers, Bubba Arslanian and Brian Lee. In your secondary, Trey Smith, CJ Parrish, Chris Chukwuemeka, Nicholas Harris, Malik Duncan, Cameron Harrell. Kicker is Kyle Kaplan. Not really any changes to the defensive side of the ball for Quad City. Over to the Tulsa side. For your quarterback, TJ Edwards, most likely your starter. Hassan Rogers, your running back, wide receiver, jack of all trades. Wide receiving core, Max Novak, Jermenic Smith, Spencer Tiers, Cole Blackman. Not a lot of depth when it comes to the offensive side and the skill positions. Hassan Rogers will play your running back. You normally have 3 wide receivers, so maybe just have 1 depth skill position. On the offensive line, though, they do pick up Patrick Barrett, which I've had him on the roster. Didn't realize he was on short-term injured reserve, but maybe I missed that. But Gene Tapia, Jake Balderrama, Patrick Barrett, Zach Branner, and Kerry Reynolds. On the defensive side of the ball, Rudy Ngoni, Jacarius Smith, Trey Smalls, and Rashawn Williams. Linebackers, Dylan Petway and Marquez Bembry. But it'll probably be Trey Harvey playing your linebacker position. We'll see if Petway, Bembry, they'll probably suit up, or one of them will. We'll see how they go. Your secondary, though, Trey Harvey moving over to linebacker, so he's out. But Taylor Hawkins, Ramon Morris, Kentrell Pierce, Isaiah Smith, Katron Allen, and Sedarius Doss. Your kicker is Jonah Edwards, and that is your 25-man roster for Quad City, your 25-man roster for Tulsa. Let's go take a look at our bet and prediction. We'll move on to the preview. All right, so bet and prediction time for Tulsa and Quad City and Tulsa Moneyline. Now, hear me out with this. I like Tulsa at home. They are 3-0 at home. And as I've said multiple times, Quad City started out 6-0. Tulsa's won 5 in a row as of late, making their record 6-2. So I like Tulsa at home. They've proven they can beat Quad City. It all hinges on DeQuan Neal for me. And that's not to say Demery Croft and company can't go get the job done. They can. They almost proved it against Tulsa. However, even with the addition of Tamarian Terry and even with the injury to Sheldon Augustine, I do think Tulsa is the better team. I do. The defense looks all right. The offense looks really good. And I don't know. I could be proven wrong. Glad to be proven wrong since, kind of root for Quad City. Tulsa's pretty cool too. But I don't know. There's something about it where my gut just tells me, and my gut has not been good lately when it comes to bets. We are horrible in the last couple of weeks in bets, so you might not want to bet this one, or bet at all. But anyway, I don't know. My gut's just telling me Tulsa at home. Riding this heater, the luck that they had against Iowa, everything that happened there. It's just there's something about Tulsa right now where everything just looks good. Now, with that being said, this could be something where another week, Quad City, coming off of a bye, getting everything needed and everything in order. Now, I don't know, man. It's just something about it to me where I'm just like, okay, I think this is an opportunity for Tulsa to go improve themselves and be that number 1 seed that I had talked about previously. For Quad City, this is a chance to stop the bleeding. This is a chance to sit there and say, hey, we started out 6-0. Here's win number 7. We're going to do it on the road. Quad City is 3-1 on the road too, so it's not like they're bad going into this game, but this could pretty much determine the supremacy. I think it does determine the supremacy of who is the top seed in the East after week 11. So I do have Tulsa. I think that they will go and get after it. I do. It just hinges on DeQuan Neal, man. And there's just something in the back of my mind of why did you sign another quarterback if Neal wasn't good to go or if Croft wasn't good to go? It's something just doesn't seem right there. And that's where I think Tulsa should be able to or could be able to feast. We'll just kind of see. But that's where I have it. My prediction for this one, 45-42. It's close, just like their last meeting. Maybe they score a little bit more points, more offensive firepower. DeQuan Dudley and Tamarian Terry coming over from Vegas. Yes, you lose Juju Augustine for Tulsa, but Jermenic Smith coming in, Max Novak, that entire wide receiving core, Hassan Rogers running and passing, running and catching very well. Yeah, it's just that offense is very good. TJ Edwards is going to find a way to run. He's going to find a way to throw. And when he doesn't, he's got plenty of weapons at his disposal. So with that, that's just kind of where I have it, 45-42, and Tulsa on the money line. So let's go take a look at preview number 2, and we'll get out of here. Right, preview number 2, another 7:05 p.m. Central kickoff time. So again, simultaneous kickoffs on the Indoor Football League Network. We've got another doozy in the East. All the Eastern Conference games are going to be done by Friday, and then we have the Western Conference games to take care of in the next preview. But we have the 2 and 6 Fishers Freight taking on the 5 and 3 Green Bay Blizzard. Now, this should be a very fun game if things break the right ways or the wrong ways. Let's take a look at our season leaders. Jaya Wright leads in rushing and passing, and Max Myler leads in rushing and passing for Green Bay. Jaya Wright, 43 of 77 for 360 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. Max Myler, 98 of 183, 1,231 yards passing, 26 touchdowns, 4 picks. For the rushing yards, 87 carries, or rushing leaders, 87 carries, 403 yards, 11 touchdowns for Jaya Wright. And for Max Myler, 56 carries, 349 yards, and 10 touchdowns. The receiving leaders, Jordan Kress for Fishers, 19 catches, 208 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Lowell Patron, 22 catches, 352 yards, and 7 touchdowns for the Blizzard wide receiver. Taking a look at our injury report, we have 2 players to add for Fishers. Keegan Shoemaker, he did take a pretty brutal shot last week, and Shavera Smith has been added to the short-term injured reserve as well. For Green Bay, nothing really new to add for them. Again, a lot of players on season injured reserve. Just kind of biding my time. I want to see Zane Lewis come back. He was having a very good season until he got injured. So I'm really hoping that he can come off short-term injured reserve sometime soon. But Harry Ballard as well, Kaimani Clark, like more offensive firepower for Green Bay, as if they needed any more. Game odds here, we have an over-under of 90.5. That's a lot of points. Plus 9.5 for Fishers on the road, minus 9.5 for Green Bay at home, plus 295 for the Freight if you want an away upset, and minus 375 for the Blizzard at home. That's a big, big odds for home. We are at the Resch Center, Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin for our location, 7:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff. And our head-to-head, believe it or not, 11 weeks into the season, this is the first time these 2 teams are meeting. So we don't really have much to go off of except what these teams have played in their last 8 games until now. So we'll see how these 2 teams fare against each other, and then we'll just kind of go from there. We got to piece all that together. Let's go take a look at our 25-man roster, take a look at a bet and prediction. We get out of here. All right, let's take a look at our 25-man rosters for Fishers and Green Bay as they pop up over my face, starting with the visiting team. Jaya Wright is presumably your starting quarterback with Keegan Shoemaker out, but they have signed Carlos Davis. I don't know if he has indoor football or arena football experience. I think he does, but could be mistaken there. Shane Simpson is your running back. And then for the wide receiving core, JT Stokes, Isaiah Cox, Jordan Kress, and Vincent Gregory. Gregory is an indoor football veteran. I believe most recently with Duke City from last season. He's been around quite a bit. Your offensive line will probably be the same usual suspects. AJ Forbes, LaQuinston Sharp, Jeremy Cooper. They have had Simmons come in there, Daryl Simmons. Jatarius Spivey, Darius Long. Now, Darius Long could be on the defensive side of the ball, but they list him as an offensive lineman on their website, so maybe a little mistranslation there. For the defense, Christopher Oakley, Jalen Swan, Ayabi Oki, and Akeem Meatball Smith. So kind of see how that goes when it comes to the defensive line. I believe it was Oki, Smith, and Christopher Oakley that started their last game. Linebacker, Cam Hunt is off of short-term injured reserve. Tamar Hart is another linebacker there. See who gets the start. Hunt did start the game before he got injured, if I'm not mistaken. Tamar Hart has played pretty well throughout the season. Your defensive secondary, Sean Steele, Aaron Jackson, Jaden Rowe, AJ Felton, Justice King. And then your kicker is Callum Sutherland, former Massachusetts Pirates kicker. Victor Leventritt has been released. So there you have it for them. Let's take a look at the Green Bay Blizzard. Max Myler, your starting quarterback. TJ Davis will be your everything, do-it-all guy. He's listed as quarterback, but I mean, he has played quarterback, but still. Jalen Cagle, running back, and then your wide receiving core. Both teams kind of short on wide receivers this week. Andre Williams, Lowell Patron, Terrell Carey, and Jazarick Peterson. Peterson has been, again, all around the indoor leagues. Arizona, Tucson. I know I'm blanking on other Bay Area, I think, at one point. So, again, he has been all over. Devin Johnson, Jake Parks, Andrew Carter, and Kadari Counta, I believe is how it's pronounced. Please correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching it. Your defensive line, Devin Rice, Rafiq Abdul-Wahid, Tremont Lofton, Alan Henry, and Sean Mustin. Very good defensive line, man. Linebackers, Andre White, Jalen Johnson. And then your secondary, Nigel Canada, Mamadou Mbai, Kevin Ransom, Isaiah Jacobs, Cale Jackson Jr., and Naeem Alexander. Kicker, Andrew Mevis. He's back, baby. James Turner, I believe, has been released, so Andrew Mevis takes back his spot. There's your 25-man roster for the Fishers Freight, your 25-man roster for the Green Bay Blizzard. So take a look at that bet and prediction. We'll get out of here. All right, let's take a look at our bet and prediction here. I have an under 90.5. Now, with that, we know both teams can score points. The over can be in play here, but I'm looking at this from a very run-centric side. We know Max Myler can take off. We know Jalen Cagle can take off. Same thing on the other side, Jair Wright and Shane Simpson. I'm looking at it through the lens of rushing. Now, Green Bay can score a bunch of points. They've scored 74 2 weeks ago. They've scored 74 earlier in the season. I can't remember who it was again. It was Tulsa. It was Tulsa. It was the overtime game that they won in overtime. But when you look at it, and I'll pull up the schedule really quick. Week 8, Green Bay destroyed Quad City, 47-25. That hits under 90. Green Bay and Tulsa, Week 7, 46-30. Green Bay only scored 30 points, under 90. Green Bay, Massachusetts, Week 6. Green Bay scored 47. Massachusetts 35. The under still hits. Even going as far back as Fishers and Jacksonville last week, 46-40, under. And that was with Fishers scoring 40 points. And then you look at it with Fishers and Jacksonville the week before that in Week 9, 59-27. It's still a blowout for Jacksonville. The under still hits. So if Fishers holds up their end of the bargain, and we don't know how the quarterback play is going to go here, that's the thing. Which Jair Wright are we going to get? Do they turn the ball over to Carlos Davis? I'm not sure. That's where it is for me, at least. Look at me doing my Italian. But that's where it's at for me. What kind of team is Fishers? I think that's what it hinges on in this entire game. What Fishers do we get? Do we get the one that scores 40 points against Jacksonville in Week 10? Or do we get the one that only scores 27 against Jacksonville in Week 9? And I'm not just basing it off those games, because we know Fishers can score points. They scored 48 in their loss against Quad City. And that was in overtime as well. But they didn't score in overtime, if I'm not mistaken, but still 48 points. They can score points. It just comes down to what Fishers do we get. I am not necessarily concerned with the Green Bay, but I'm also secretly hoping, that the running game goes for both sides. Max Myler runs, Jalen Cagle runs, TJ Davis runs, and then on the other side, Fishers, Shane Simpson, Jair Wright, if he starts, and any sort of Jordan Kress, jet sweeps, or what have you. So that's where I'm taking it. I'm taking under 90.5. That's a lot of points. And yes, I know Green Bay, they scored 74 just a couple weeks ago. I get it. But that was a shootout. I don't know if a shootout's going to happen in this one. It very well could. But if a shootout happens, I think it's because both teams are running the ball very, very well and breaking off big runs. We'll see how it goes. But that's where I have it. So I got under 90.5 here. My prediction for this, 49-35. So even this, that's a 14-point victory. And it's still, 70, 84 points. So you're still hitting it under and still have room for another touchdown, roughly, at least another 6 points or so. And that's where we kind of have it. So with that, Under 90.5, 49-35 in favor of Green Bay taking the victory. I guess I should say that too. But Green Bay taking the victory in that one. I think they are a better team. Fishers just continues that slide. If they can get off that slide and win this, I think it's truly probably one of the bigger upsets so far this season, but I don't necessarily see it. It's another home game for Green Bay. They've been kind of cruising. So with that, under 90.5, 49-35, let's get on out of here. And that is it for our Week 11 Friday preview. 2 games on tap, both Eastern Conference matchups, and a very, very good slate of games, and looking forward to it. If it's anything like Friday, could be in store for some surprises. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Go watch that game. It was actually a very fun game as we transition into Week 11. So with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you for taking the time to watch this video. Truly means a lot as I just keep chugging along previews, recaps, and we are just really in the thick of it, getting closer and closer. Playoffs slowly starting to mold themselves into a picture. We only have a couple of weeks left, couple of months left until the end of the season, so we'll be here before you know it. But until then, signing off here, guys. Love and appreciate you. If you feel so inclined, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't care. With that, I'm taking off here, guys. Edit the video, get it out. We'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.